My voice audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So which are the methods we are having in the servlet life cycle?
Init,
Init,
service,
service, destroy. Right? Init, service, destroy. Okay. So these methods are called by server. Yes or no? These methods are called by server. So this servlet interface declares these lifecycle methods that are called by the server during the lifecycle of a servlet. Okay. So servlet lifecycle methods are init, service, destroy. To load the servlet into the address space of the server, the server will invoke the init method. To process the HTTP request or client request, we will use the service or the server will call the service method. Once the task of servlet is finished, when the server decides to unload the servlet from its address space, then it will call destroy method. So allocated resources will be deallocated for the servlet, right? So this is the first interface we are having, servlet interface, right? So these are the methods which are there inside that is destroy. So this is called when the servlet is unloaded, init called when the servlet is initialized. Initialization parameters for the servlet can be obtained by this servlet configuration variable sc. So here next void service. Void service. So service method to process the HTTP request or the client request and to provide service for the request or to formulate a response. So this server will invoke this service method, right? So these are the methods we are having inside the servlet interface. Kindly remember, we are discussing javax.servlet package. Under that, we are discussing what are the classes and interfaces we are having. So, first we are discussing the interfaces. First one, servlet. And these are the methods which are there inside that interface. Okay. Next, servlet config interfaces. Servlet config interface. So this is the second interface we are seeing inside javax.servlet package. So which allows a servlet to obtain configuration data whenever it is loaded. Okay. So this will allow the servlet to obtain the configuration data. That is, whenever we call init method, the initial configuration data will be passing through init method, right? So what are the methods we are having to pass this or to obtain the configuration data? First method is servlet context. So get servlet context method. Okay, get servlet context method. So this will return the context of this servlet. Next, get initial parameter names. So returns an enumeration of all the initialization parameter names here. Next, get init parameter names. So here we are passing the string parameter as a argument. So this will return the value of the initialization parameter named in param. Next, get servlet name. So this returns the name of the invoking servlet. Okay. So this is the second interface we are having, and these are the methods which are defined inside this servlet config interface, which will allow servlet to obtain its configuration data when it is loaded. Next, third interface is servlet context interface. Servlet context interface, so which will enable the servlet to obtain the information about their environment. Servlet context interface. So to obtain information about the environment, so this interface is used. So the methods which are defined inside this are get server info method. So this will return the information about the server. Get MIME type returns the MIME type of a file, whether it is a text. Okay. Next, void log. So this writes yes sir. So this whatever the yes, the data which is there inside this yes. So this method will write this yes to the servlet's log file. Okay. Right. So this is the third interface we are having. Next, fourth one, servlet request interface. Servlet request interface. So this will enable the servlet to obtain information about a client request. The methods are get parameter names. So this returns an enumeration of the parameter names of this request. Get parameters of string p name. So it returns the value of the parameter named p name. Get server name. This will return the name of the server. Get server port returns the port number of the server. Okay. So these are the methods which are defined inside this servlet request interface. Next servlet response interface. Servlet response interface. So this will enable the servlet to formulate a response for a client. So the methods are print writer. So here get writer method returns a print writer that can be used to write the character data to the response. Similarly, set content type sets the content type of the response to type. Set content length sets the length of the content for the response of the size. Get character encoding returns the character encoding for the response. Okay, so this is one interface we are having. So how many interfaces are there? First one, servlet interface, right? First one, servlet interface. Second one, servlet config interface, servlet context interface, servlet request interface, servlet response interface. Okay, so these are the interfaces which are having inside the javax.servlet package interfaces. Next we will discuss what are the classes which are there inside the javax.servlet package. Clear? Any doubt? Kindly respond, please. Any doubt? Is my voice audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so next we will see what are the classes which are there inside the javax.servlet package, right? So the first one, generic servlet. So this will implement the servlet and servlet config interface. So when it is implementing, kindly remember what are the methods we are there inside the servlet interface and servlet config interface. All the methods are provided are available for this generic servlet class. So this will provide the implementations of the basic lifecycle methods of a servlet. Basic lifecycle methods of a servlet. So we know the basic lifecycle methods are init, service destroy, right? So the implementations of these basic lifecycle methods are provided by this class generic servlet. Next, servlet input stream class. Servlet input stream. This is another class which is there inside the javax.servlet package. So it provides an input stream that a servlet can be used to read the data from a client request. Okay. Next is servlet output stream class. So this provides an output stream that a servlet can use to write the data to a client response. Kindly remember, servlet server calls service method. So when service method is called, this servlet is responsible for reading the client request, searching for the data or obtaining the necessary data from the database, then formulate a response, send the response. So when we want to send a response, how to send, the servlet has to write the data to an output stream, right? So that is what the implementation of that is provided by servlet output stream class. Okay, so it also defines print and println methods which output the data to the stream. Next, servlet exception class. Servlet exception class. So this defines two exceptions. One is servlet exception, other one is unavailable exception. So when we will get servlet exception, this indicates that a servlet problem has occurred. Means there is a problem either with init or service or destroy method. So whenever a servlet problem is occurred, then servlet exception is raised. Next, unavailable exception. So this extends the servlet exception, which indicates that a servlet is unavailable. When the servlet is not there, then servlet unavailable exception will be raised. Okay. So these are the two exceptions we are having inside the servlet exception class. Okay. The first one we have seen generic servlet. First class, second servlet input stream, next servlet output stream, next servlet exception, right? Okay, so these are the classes which are there inside the javax.servlet package. Okay, so here the question can be list and explain all the interfaces and classes in javax.servlet package. Is my question clear? List and explain all the classes and interfaces in javax.servlet package. Kindly remember, servlet package. Okay, so servlet API consists of two packages. One is javax.servlet, other one is javax.servlet.http. Okay, so inside this javax.servlet we are having a number of classes and interfaces. So when we see interfaces, first is servlet interface, second one servlet config interface, servlet context interface, servlet request interface, servlet response interface. So these are the interfaces which are having inside the javax.servlet package. Next, what are the classes we are having? Generic servlet, servlet input stream, servlet output stream, servlet exception. Okay, so these are the classes which are there inside the javax.servlet package. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt?
Sir, no, sir.
Okay. So next we'll see what are the classes which are there and what are the interfaces which are there inside the javax.servlet.http package. Okay, the first one javax.servlet package, second one javax.servlet.http package. Okay, now similarly this also contains a number of classes and interfaces that are commonly used by servlet developers. Okay, its functionality makes it easy to build servlets that work with HTTP requests and the response. So in the introduction classes we discussed how the request will be sent for the servlet and how the response will be received by the client, right? How the servlet will formulate the response for the client, right? So all these functionalities, okay, so we will use to make a form to make a response for the request, right? So this functionality is provided by javax.servlet.http package. What are the interfaces we are having inside this package? First one, HTTP servlet request interface, okay, which will enable servlet to obtain information about client request. When a request is sent, the servlet has to know some of the information with respect to the request. Kindly remember, so servlet will know the information about the request by methods. Which are those methods? Get method, get method. This will return which method it is using to send a request from client to the server. Whether it is using do get method or it is using do post method. Okay, that information can be obtained by get method. Second one, get remote user. Kindly observe here. Get remote user. So returns the name of the user who issued the request. Next, HTTP session get session method. So this will return the session for this request. If a session does not exist, one is created and then that is returned. Okay. Which method is used by the sender to send a request? Who is sending the request? And whether the session is created. If it is, then the same session will be sent. If not, it will create a new session and that is returned. Right? So these are the methods which are there inside the HTTP servlet request interface. Next, servlet response interface. HTTP servlet response interface. So this will enable a servlet to formulate a HTTP response to a client. Okay, so now here it will use some of the constants for this purpose for giving a response for the client. The two constants are SC and SC not found. Okay, SC OK. Other one is SC not found. Okay, so these are the status codes which are assigned to a HTTP response. If the status code of the HTTP response is SC OK, then that will indicate that the HTTP request is successful. If it is SC not found, then it will indicate that the request resource is not available. Whatever the resource you are requesting, that particular resource is enabled by the server to process that. Okay, so that is the status code. If this is there, then that will be written as a response. Okay. Next, what are the methods we are having inside this? Void add cookie method, set status, send error with the code and the message. Okay, send error with the code and the message. Right. So first one, add cookie method. So this will add cookies to a HTTP response. Next one, get status method. Set status method. So it will set the status code for this response to code, whether it is SC OK or SC not found. Right. Next, if there is an error, then it will send the error code by the set error method. Next, send error along with the code. We are also sending the message for the client. What type of error it is. Okay. So these are the methods which are there inside the HTTP servlet response interface. Servlet response interface. Okay. So next, the HTTP session interface. So this will enable a servlet to read and write the state information that is associated with the HTTP session. So the methods are get creation time when a particular session is created, right? When a session is created, so that is written by get creation time. Get ID method returns the session ID. Next, get last access time. Okay, so this will return the time when the client has made last request for this session. Last means previous. Okay. Next, void invalidate method. So this will invalidate the session and removes it from the context. Context means whenever a servlet is executing, I told it will be loaded to address space of a server. So this is what the context. Whenever it is not needed, so it will invalidate the session and removes it from that particular context. Means from the execution it is removing. Next, is new. Is new means if the session is new. So this will return if the server creates the session and it has not yet been accessed by the client. So this is written by is new method. Okay, all these methods will throw illegal state exception if the session has already invalidated. That is new, invalidate, is get creation time, get ID method, get last access time. All these methods will throw illegal state exception if the session is already invalidated. Okay, so these are the methods which are there inside the HTTP session interface. Next, we are having HTTP session binding listener interface. HTTP session binding listener interface. Kindly observe here. So H is uppercase, S is uppercase, B is uppercase, L is uppercase. Okay. So this is the interface name we are having. HTTP session binding listener. So it is implemented by objects that need to be notified when they are bound or unbound from the HTTP session. Okay. Whenever an object is included for the session or whenever an object is unloaded from the session context, then so they need to be notified. So if they need notification, then they will implement this HTTP session binding listener interface. So it is having two methods. One is value bound. Next one is value unbound. So if the object is bound, then it will return this value bound, whatever the value which is there here. Okay. If the object is unbound, then it will return the value which is there inside the E. Okay. So these are the interfaces we are having inside the javax.http servlet. Okay. Next, What are the classes which are there in this one? First one, cookie class. Cookie class, right? So a cookie is stored on a client machine that contains the state information. These cookies are vulnerable for tracking user activities. You can just imagine. Okay, so whenever a user is worked on particular machine and he leaves that, automatically cookies are stored in that particular machine, right? So that is vulnerable for security attacks, and it is easy to track user activities. Okay, so some information that is saved for each cookie includes name of the cookie, value of the cookie, expiration date of the cookie, and domain and path of the cookie. Okay, right? So this is the information which is stored inside the cookie, and that cookie is stored on a client machine. So it will be very useful for tracking user activities. Okay, what are the methods which are there inside this cookies class? First one, get name, get maximum age, set maximum age, get secure, get version. Okay, so the first one, get name, returns the name of the cookie. Age returns the maximum age of that particular cookie. We can also set the maximum age of the cookie in seconds by set max age method. Next one, this get secure method returns true if the cookie is secure, otherwise it returns false. Next, this one will return the version of the cookie. Okay, so these are the methods which are there inside the cookie class, which are stored cookies, which are stored on the client machine, which are very much useful for user tracking. Okay, next class is HTTP servlet class. HTTP servlet class. So this will extend the generic servlet. It is commonly used for developing the servlets that receive and process HTTP requests. The methods are, first one, void service. Void service. So this is called by the server when HTTP requests arise for this servlet. So that includes request. So this service method is responsible for receiving the request and formulating the response, right? So this is a first method we are having. Next, void do delete. Void do delete method. So this will handle the HTTP delete request. Next, do get. Do get. And this is same as it is request and the response. Okay, so this handles the HTTP get request, and this do post, this handles the HTTP post requests. Okay, so these are the methods are there inside the HTTP servlet class. So next we are having HTTP session event class. Okay, so this will encapsulate all the session events. It extends the event object and is generated when a change occurs in the particular session. Right? So it defines the constructor HTTP session event of HTTP session. So this session is the source of the event. Who has generated the event? Right? Okay. So we can also get the session by get session method. So next we are having HTTP session binding event class. So this will extend the HTTP session event. It is generated when a listener is bound or unbound from a value in a HTTP session object. So it consists of two constructors. One is HTTP session binding event. Other one is session binding event along with the object value. Here you can just see object value we are having. Okay, so here session is a source of the event and name is the name associated with that particular object that is being bound or unbound. Okay, if this is bound or unbound, then its particular value will be passed inside this valve. Okay, and the methods which are there inside this HTTP session binding event class are get name, get session, and get value. We will use all these particular methods when we are going to develop the servlets. Okay, so this get name so obtains the name of this being bound or unbound. Then get session, this obtains the session to which the listener is bound or unbound. Get value, this obtains the value of the attribute that is being bound or unbound, that is this one, name, session, and the value. To obtain this one, we will use these particular methods. Okay, so these are the classes we are having. So HTTP session binding event class, HTTP session event class, HTTP servlet class, cookie class, right? So these are the classes we are having. Next, what are the interfaces we are having? HTTP session binding listener interface, HTTP session interface, HTTP servlet response interface, HTTP servlet request interface, right? So all these interfaces and classes are inside the javax.servlet.http package. So including this, that is javax.servlet package, javax.servlet.http package. These packages will form a servlet. Kindly remember, inside the servlet API, whatever the classes and the interfaces we discussed till now, all those are inside this servlet API, so which consists of two packages. One is javax.servlet, other one is javax.servlet.http package. Clear? So kindly go through with this one. Okay. Then you will get what are the classes and interfaces we are having inside this javax.servlet and servlet.http package. Okay, so in the next class we will see, or we will learn how to write a simple servlet and how to execute that one. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Any doubt?
No, sir.
All these are just remembering, that's it. What are the classes we are having, what are the methods we are having, and what are the interfaces we are having. Just it is a knowledge level one, that is just remember, that's it. Okay.
Okay, sir.
I hope you got a notification for assignment 3.
Yeah, sir.
Okay. So you try to finish within the specified time.